Yeah, so I mean 4K Ultra, you're basically at 60 in the worst areas, and slightly above. Got all that rendering, that background there. We're just below 60. This is probably the way to play it, to be honest. Just play it at 4K 60, whatever. It's a very slow paced game. You're going to be so close to 60 that won't really matter. It's looking really good there. You got the reflections and everything. Doing fine. I'm not sure how good the man. That's a lot of VRAM. It's actually using 12 gigabytes too. So it's actually over 12 gigabytes. So I guess if you had like a 4070 or 4070 Ti, I mean, you'd kind of be SOL. This is why cards have to have 16 gigabytes, at least mid-range cards. Lower end cards should, and lower to mid-range cards nowadays should have 12 gigabytes. Mid-range cards need more than 12. Look at this. Any problems running it? There we go. 4K maxed out. Like everything is maxed out, native. And away you go. Capcom did a very good job with this game. It's very well optimized, despite the fact that it looks incredible. They don't really mess around with their ports. They make sure they're good. And you can see here, 4K max, like everything maxed out. And we're well above 60. There's no need to play this game at 175 FPS. So 1440p, surprise, surprise, it runs shockingly well. The game is very well optimized, and the game is now maxed out at 1440p and 130 FPS on average. Lows are fine. So if you have a 4K screen, max the game out. If you have a 1440p screen, max the game out. If you have a 1080p screen, buy yourself a better screen. And there you go. Very good performance. Survivor at 4K Epic with no FSR. So obviously playable. 40 FPS. Should be enough. Yep, huge jump in performance as expected. This game is actually more dependent on resolution than on settings, presets, and that. And you can see that here. 4K Epic Max, whatever, with just the lightest FSR, and the frame rate almost doubled. Really solid performance here. Yeah, 4K medium, kind of like a balanced mode, I would say. 45 FPS. You could turn it up to high, for example, and get 30 FPS or so. You could turn it down and get more. But this is pretty good. 4K medium. Yeah, 4K medium is going to get you about 45 FPS. Yeah, there you go. 1440p Epic, no scaling. So if you have a 1440p screen, I mean, the 7800 XT is 4K capable, absolutely. But it is really targeted at super high settings for 1440p, and we can see that here. It's a pretty demanding game, not well optimized by any means. Yeah, apparently we can. Oh, that guy's gone. So 4K very high. Looks really good, actually. What are these? Yeah, so long story short here, I mean, 4K, you can pretty much just throw the game on very high, which is basically max. It's running very well here. You'll be getting about 100 at 1440p. Very high. And yeah, 100 FPS, pretty much as I anticipated. So if you have a 1440p screen, high refresh, you're good to go. So yeah. This game is so fluid. You really would want to play it at 60 FPS. I don't know. There's something about it. It's very fluid. So here we are. So 4K game maxed out without ray tracing. So non-ray tracing 4K maxed out. And I know this game really does benefit a lot from good memory, not just VRAM, like memory speed, memory bandwidth. And you can see here it's doing, as anticipated, very good. This game is brutal to run on laptop GPUs or lower end GPUs. Unfortunately, it just eats up the lower memory bus. And you shouldn't really get any dips or anything. And if you do, if you get any dips, they'll be down to like 60 or whatever. So yeah, really good performance here. Really quite good performance. Yeah, very good performance. Okay, now we're back at 1440p Ultra. No upscaling, no ray tracing. This is just 1440p non-ray tracing max, and I mean, incredibly good performance. Okay, here is 1440p Ultra with medium ray tracing. It's actually doing better than I thought. Ray tracing in some titles is less demanding than others, like The Witcher was very demanding. It is dropping down, but it's playable. Down to 30 in this area here. And then so just adding quality FSR. Oh, huge jump. Quality FSR should have us rendering around 1080p. Yep, massive jump. Look at that VRAM, getting close to 12 gigabytes there. Okay, and now we're back at 4K Extreme. I mean, yeah, you can't really go any higher. I mean, I guess we could like absolutely max the anti-aliasing and do all that stuff, but you don't need to. There goes my... Wow, this is really good performance for 4K Extreme. Fortunately, I'm recording this at 1080p. I apologize. But I can assure you it looks very good at 4K Ultra. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to test 1440p. Obviously, it's going to do incredibly well. Like, if you have an extremely high refresh rate 1440p screen, you'll be fine. Okay, now we're back into town. Same thing, 4K medium. Set that there. I didn't anticipate it to run this well. I've been playing this like a little bit here and there, but yeah, holy smokes. So 4K medium, you just max this. This is no FSR. You just 4K medium native and away you go. Put it that way. So 4K Ultra now. Yeah, it's running really well. 45 FPS at 4K Ultra native. So it's not like it's going to be flying up and down. So this is like your ultra fidelity mode or whatever, ultra quality mode, where you know you're getting probably 40 to 60 depending on your areas. It's actually doing very well. Just has the GPU just has a lot. But this card is going to be an absolute banger at 1440p. You can see here. Absolutely no need for DLSS. Absolutely no need for FSR at 1440p. Yeah, so obviously very good performance. Again, this game does run objectively better on AMD cards. I don't know if it's just, you know, AMD, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It runs amazing on this GPU. So 4K, very high preset, so basically max or whatever, without ray tracing for now. Really good performance, as anticipated, obviously. So native 4K, ray tracing on high, Settings on max. Yeah, it's doing really well. There's no scaling at all. This is native 4K with ray tracing. But they have really improved the performance this generation. This is really good here. This is 4K max presets with high ray tracing on top of that and native. There's no scaling here. And look at this performance here. Absolutely rock solid. Kind of has the raw power to get over that. So FSR quality gets us. Never seen text like that on the screen like that. So 35, yeah, not bad. So this is balanced FSR. Now it's playable. That was a little low before, but balanced FSR at 4K with ray tracing ultra. So like the game's maxed here, right? 45 FPS. That's not bad. Crap. Native 1440p with TAAU. And yeah, huge performance here. So if you have an extremely high refresh rate, 1440p, you can pretty much just max it out with no ray tracing for now. It's actually really good. I'm very impressed with this GPU. Yeah, AMD has made major improvements this year. You know, a lot of the reviews were tested with like launch day drivers. I'm testing this a few weeks later intentionally, and it's doing very well here. Like this is pretty good. The on ray tracing ultra. Okay, went way over. So this is 1440p ray tracing ultra, just the lightest quality FSR, and we're getting very close to 60, even in these challenging areas with like smoke. This is why I come to this area. Well above 60 over here. Water, obviously, you know, this is a demanding scene for ray tracing, obviously. Okay, so 4K ultra native. So this is basically the max non-ray tracing we're going to get here. Yeah, so great performance here. I mean, 45 FPS, 4K max. So if you have a 4K screen and you just want to play on max, you can totally get away with 45 FPS. I probably want to aim for 60 personally, but you can play like this. Indoors, you might get a little bit more. But it looks pretty good. And a really huge jump in performance with FSR. We went from 45 to around 60 or so. Now we're up 70, so 20%. So we're getting like 30% uplift. So this is 4K, just high, native. So you could play like this rather than ultra, and just 4K high performs about the same as 4K ultra with a little bit of FSR. Yeah, medium FSR, 4K. Medium ray tracing, 4K with balanced FSR. Now we're playable. Still not great. I mean, it's not hitting 60, but it's above 30, like easily above 30. But we're still well above 30. Let's see about in these like challenging areas over here. Yeah, even over here. I mean, frame rates here. Yeah. So 1440p ultra, 100-ish FPS up here. Let's see. Yeah. So I mean, if you have a high refresh rate, 1440p screen, which if you have a 7800 XT, you probably do. Yeah, you're gonna the worst areas over here. You know, 94. Even if there's tons of explosions and stuff on the screen, you'll be doing pretty well.